A bump on the head isn't enough to let Phyllis know that Jack's just not that into her. John is Jack's conscience. And Patty's back. All that and more on this week's Restless Wrap-Up.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Of course, that's Nadia's theme, a.k.a. the YNR theme song, as well as the Restless Wrap-Up theme song. It's just everyone's theme song, apparently. And of course, I am your host, Lacretia Lyon. You guys can always find me here or on social media at LACRETIALYON, anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. But there isn't just one person here tonight. Of course, I have my two lovely ladies with me. Introduce yourselves, starting with Kiera.
Hello, everybody. It's Kiera Giavanni. You can find me on all social media at Kiera Giavanni.
And how about you, Abby?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Abbey Scott. And if you want to catch up with me, just follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Like I said, I do it all. I love social media because I love connecting with you guys. It's all about you.
Yes, I know, and we're actually really starting to give you guys your own segments. Since Alexander is no longer with us, we know you guys love the best and worst dressed, and obviously I'm not the person to do that, guys. You see how I'm dressed. So
Fashionable.
That's why we send it to you guys. So yeah, always tweet any of us your picks for the week. We've got our Facebook page. Just let us know, and we'll put your thoughts up on for the following segments until the end of time.
Until
Yes, let's do it.
That's exciting. See, it's so interactive here at AfterBuzz. I love it.
That's the thing is, we love our fans. That's how we keep the lights on.
We love you. Love you, mean it.
But I guess enough about you guys. Let's talk about Genoa City.
Enough about you. We're all
Get
about
into the meat of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I put a bump on the head isn't enough for Phyllis to get Jackson just not that into her. It's like, girl.
The fact that she tried to still work there is creepy.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Give him some
Space and some time. Oh my God, you're trying to hurt him in his purse strings, and then you show up at his job
It's
with
beyond
a cute dress.
not understanding that he's not enjoying it. She's blackmailing him. It's terrible.
Yeah, she's well within her rights.
No.
I don't think it's blackmail.
I think,
there's no
why,
prenup.
I don't know why she would want to work there. I know she thinks this is her way to get him back, but I think it's going to backfire on her.
Oh yeah, to me, it's like, as someone who's been a supporter of Phyllis, this week I was like, screw her. Sorry, I'm like, the way that she behaved over wanting to work there and sort of blackmailing him with the, no prenup, I'll take half of it, doesn't matter, and it's just like, girl, give it up. I do see where you were coming from in the affair with Billy and the whole Marco situation, the sexual assault. I got you up until now.
Yeah, I love Phyllis too, but I think that threatening to take half his business was just not a way to a man's heart. I maybe cook Phyllis. I don't know. I think she needs to. Summer is giving such amazing advice to her mom. She's stepping up. She's being more of an adult than Phyllis is.
Right.
And she gave her amazing advice to give some space to Jack. And obviously she's not listening. She's going to be in his face.
I think she's so wrong, and she knows that when you sleep with someone's brother, it's pretty much over. So it's desperation 2.0, Phyllis, and I get where she's coming from.
Yeah, I do get she's seeming very desperate
And
right
needy,
now.
yes.
And
she
I
just
hate,
wants to see him.
I hate desperate and needy. I'm sorry. Like, Phyllis, I love you when you're that feisty, fiery red. Now you're like pathetic. And even Summer is saying it, and I'm like, this was a good week for Summer. But
yeah.
I'm sure next week she'll piss me off. That's how it always is.
Up and down, they switch.
And I love how she dressed up and she thought she was so sexy when she walked into
She
Jack.
was.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Abbott.
Oh, that dress was sexy.
Yeah, that jumpsuit was so cute.
She looked beautiful, but it was just embarrassing. I was embarrassed for her. I really was.
Yeah.
And then he put her in that small office. I was like, you're in the doghouse.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's the boss. He could have said no. He let her in. He gladly
had
gave
to.
her little office. He wants her around. You're not fooling me.
I think he wants to put her in her place as much as he can. He's like, she's gonna play that. Two can play at that game.
All right, but he still loves her and wants
Yeah.
to see her.
Plus, he was like, "You're not taking half my business. No way." And I didn't sign a prenup, so I'm gonna have to at least give her, a shot. But he's gonna make it terrible for her. She's gonna be like crying every day.
Oh, and he won't be the only one. Ashley is so on his
Yeah.
side. Well, and I like that Ashley is, not just on Jack's side. She cares about Billy too. And her thing with Phyllis is Phyllis hurt both of them in Ashley's eyes. I like how Ashley has been a big sister, but that's all she's got lately, and I'm so annoyed because she deserves so much better.
more. We say that all the time.
Ugh.
And I feel like Jack will be the one to crack and go back to Phyllis, and Ashley will keep him in his place.
Yeah,
Hopefully not.
I don't want to see Phyllis and Jack back for a while. Because to me, the direction that Phyllis has gone now, it's like, no, sorry. This whole forcing him and putting, not giving him space. When Summer is the mature one, that's a problem.
That's sad.
Because it was sweet that she let her mom move in and was like wanting to take care of her. I was like, okay, this is again the Summer I like.
Yeah, Aaron Brody from the chat saying, yes, Phyllis is a little too late to save her marriage. Gisela, bring back crazy DNA switching Phyllis back. Yes,
Yeah, we need her.
I love that Phyllis.
now that Patty's back, we got enough crazy for an entire
I
lifetime.
can't wait.
I know. It's like we'll probably have to do some more mental institution scenes. We're going to have like Phyllis, Patty, Sharon, and like the whole gang.
Oh, Sharon's on her way for sure.
Everyone's going to end up in the loony bin.
But yeah, Jack, although sometimes seems like it because he sees dead people, like.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I think that's his, conscious.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, it's like, the angel and the devil, And I think he really respected his dad. So I think and his dad's giving him good advice because it's like you can't hate your brother forever.
Yeah, I really liked that John's advice was all about mending the relationship between Jack and Billy, especially bringing up the fact that Jack had slept with Jill, who was his wife at the time. And he goes, and I forgave you. And, that's what you and Billy need to do. And that's where it was. It's like, it's about keeping the Abbott family together, not Phyllis.
Yeah, and I feel like he'll keep that advice in the back of his head. It's going to be hard to forgive him right away, but somewhere in there he'll have that conscience.
And to me, it's like Billy, at least in the beginning of the week, he got a little off track with Victoria and Travis. But in the beginning of the week, when Phyllis told him she wanted Jack, he understood. And he was like, yep, my little fantasy isn't happening. And he manned up. He went and told Jack, you know what? I'm sorry. She wants you. She wants to see you. I'm stepping out.
Yeah, not that made it any better, but thanks.
And I know that probably was hard for Billy to do that. And so I think that was awesome that he stepped up. And I think he is trying to mend his relationship with his brother.
And we've been saying #be a man, Billy, and he finally did.
And he was a man. But he can never be a man too long. What does Victor call him? Billy Boy?
Billy Boy Abbott.
I feel like Eric Braeden made that nickname up. I don't believe that, the writers are. I think Eric Braeden was like, I want to call him Billy Boy. I can't just say Billy Abbott. I have to say Billy Boy. I love it.
Yeah, because it's just so demeaning and, points out his real feelings of him. Just like how Billy and Jack say the mustache for Victor.
Yeah.
It's a cute little play that they have. And, I was glad to hear the mustache brought up as well as Billy Boy this week.
Yeah, because it still shows that playful side. Everybody still has some like for each other in there.
Jacob Martinez. I totally agree, Lacretia and Abbey. Thank you.
Oh, yes,
Everything we say is just...
because, and it was especially great that Billy came in right after Jack had that, scene with his conscience, his father. And that was what it was about, was them mending fences. And I felt like that because of that, Jack was a little bit more receptive.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love
Taylor
this.
Jones, finally, Billy was a man. Yes, he was. Keep it up.
Aaron Brody says Billy gets no brownie points for me.
I know, I love this chat. I'm so engaged.
Yes. I know. Sometimes, we'll just read what you guys have to say. What I have to say is
Right.
not important.
Run the show.
Really? No, they know.
But I guess speaking of the mustache, I love how Victor always gets the yes.
Always.
And we kind of said this last week. I was like, I think Travis is going to end up working for him.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened.
I know a lot of our predictions were coming true.
Coming
this
true,
year.
yeah. They
we're
definitely
not-
listen.
Yeah.
We're not too far off, but yeah, they do film way in advance. So I'm like, I wish our predictions. But yeah, no, I knew that Travis was going to work for Victor. First of all, Victor always gets what he wants, but I knew Travis wanted to work for him. He knew way too much about Newman Enterprises to, just to casually look up. He wanted to work there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that Travis is someone who is itching for a new opportunity. He did the Sailor around the world, he did the bar, and I mean, Victoria even called him out on it. You kind of want this life back. And that is who you were. And he just doesn't want to lose the good part of himself with this. And I feel like that's a good balance for someone to be working with Victor, and also that has such a hard head on his shoulders, as opposed to like someone like Billy.
Yeah.
And Victor has this sort of respect for Travis.
He does, but I feel like that can cause a rift between him and Victoria, so he kind
Exactly.
of has to be careful.
Plus, I think Travis is too perfect. So I feel like something's going to come out about Travis because that guy, he's gorgeous. He's nice. He's understanding about everything with Billy and Victoria. So I think something's going to come.
Definitely something on the work front is going to come
There's
up.
some skeletons in his closet. And I think Victor's going to probably bring out the worst in him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping to see, because I do like Travis, but as I say, he's too perfect. I want to start seeing those cracks so that he's human and that we can really, start to like him a little bit more, not just for his hot bod.
Ooh, she said, do you think Travis has a secret grudge against Victor and will try to destroy him? I like that.
To me, I like that, but it almost would seem too much like Billy. So I'm kind of hoping that it's not about
but-
Victor, but,
It always is, one way or another.
I feel that Travis has been trying to, work these demons, just like, say, the gambling was with Billy, or pills or with Jack, stuff like that. His demon is being powerful in the, the business game, and that's going to start seeing, more of an addicting personality, since that everyone on Y&R has an addiction. That's why the Winters Foundation does it.
Right.
Travis is
We all
going to
can
have to
visit.
join after this.
And, the scene with Ashley in the elevator, she obviously knew him
Knows
from before.
him, yeah. I'm like, what's up
Yeah.
with that? Where could it be?
And I noticed that may be what Ashley's going to be doing soon.
Oh, no, for sure. There was a lot of chemistry there.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows how long this elevator is going to be
She
broken.
so needs a good storyline, so maybe, I believe, Ashley and Travis may hook it up in the elevator.
Yeah.
Swipe right.
But I know people really want her back with Stitch, and then Abby with Devon. I've been seeing a lot of, people campaigning
I think
for
that would be
that.
such a weird match. Abby and Devon.
I don't think so.
Oh, no,
There's
I've
a lot of
always
chemistry
thought that.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
They're
feel like
cute.
he's all about Hillary, though.
I know, and it's cute, and I like that, and that's why I feel that, it may be something on down the line, but I wanted them together, before,
way longer
Stitch.
ago, yeah.
I mean, that was the
Really?
thing, is that Devon is just adorable, and I don't know why no one else sees it.
I know. They
Yeah, I
see
know,
it. They
yeah.
see it. But like you said, he's just so stuck in one place.
Yeah, and it's very limiting to his character. And so, but I did, I guess we can talk about it a little bit, since we love to talk about Devon. The GC Buzz storyline.
I loved that.
That's so exciting. For someone that loves TMZ, bring it.
And I so loved, I knew this was going to happen. As soon as I saw what David Faustino was cast in, and knowing Angelica McDaniel, I was like, he's gonna be Harvey, and he so was Harvey, and they didn't even try to hide it.
No, I just love
Levin.
that Hillary
Yeah.
took over in that position. She didn't bash anyone. She came out with a great first show. Now, do I think she's going to stay there and play nice? Absolutely not. But
No.
at least she
Yeah.
won everybody over.
It cannot stay a nice show. It has to go in that direction of, gossip and just outing people. And, and Hillary is probably the most perfect person to do it,
Oh yeah, and I really liked that Devon bought that and wanted to do something good with it, because this gives Devon something new to do, and then it gives Hillary something that I think she, as a host myself, I was judging her on her hosting skills. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, she was really
Yeah.
good and natural. But like I said, she's all about herself. So it's going to backfire in Devon's face. She's trying to get to Jack, and she's going to expose anybody in that path.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, go
So
ahead.
Phyllis, watch out.
I was going to say, talk about someone that needs a storyline. Lily. Oh my God. It's like every time they walk in, she's there to go, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. I can't believe you did GC Buzz. Oh my God. It's like she really, really is asking for a storyline. I feel bad.
Yeah, she's the nagging little sister, but that's real.
Yeah, and it makes sense for Lily to be so defensive of Neil and Devon where Hillary is concerned, but, I thought they'd sort of buried the hatchet a little bit, and in this moment, Hillary didn't do anything wrong, but I do get Lily's reservations because
Like, girl, I know your past.
Yeah,
What's
this-
it all about?
It's just overkill. And I think to everyone, the viewers watching, I just think that they probably hate Lily at this point. And she is a great character. So
yeah.
I think that they're not putting,
well,
crystal to use.
I feel that they're getting there. To me, they're just setting up. Because, see, now we've got Hillary and Devon over here with the GC Buzz, and I think that's going to be great because it's going to give Hillary, a platform to start, her dastardly deeds that we love. Yeah. And that'll be a fun addition to the show. To me, I was like, I actually like this.
And
It's
she needs some
cheesy.
more rivals other
Yeah.
than just Lily.
Yeah, and, because her and Jill is hilarious, too. Because
Yes.
Jill just puts her down.
Oh, this is going to get good.
But yeah, and to me, Hillary's gonna do something on there to,
Piss
Devon
everybody off.
and everybody, and then he'll be with Abby, and then we have Lily over and brash and sassy.
There's like so many love connections. Wow.
And I was so proud of Kane for shutting that little floozy down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was like, no way. No way, Jose. Swipe left situation. But we'll talk about that.
I almost
in our
was like, is he
segment.
going to do it? Don't do it. I love you guys together.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah, I really liked Kane in that moment, and I liked that, Lily was there working with Kane, like we'd been saying. Like, she needs to be at brash and sassy. That's going to be more fun, because I did see chemistry between her and Billy, and they were talking about Hillary and back and forth. I was like, they've done that before, but it was with Billy Miller, I think. It was a different Billy.
I know Billy Miller, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
think
they're
he
testing
played a
that.
great Billy.
Yeah, he was good.
He's like, I like when I think of Billy Abbott, I think of Billy Miller. I think he played a great, but I'm not to put down the other Billy Abbott.
Yeah, Jason Thompson is doing a great
Jason
job,
Thompson.
and
I know his name.
Billy Miller is playing Jason Morgan on General Hospital. Sorry, guys.
Oh, look at everybody wants. Look at. Oh no, Lynn Johnson does not want Abby and Devon together, but Aaron Brody does.
Yeah.
So we're torn here, torn down the middle.
And I'm writing the
serious stuff.
storyline here, guys.
Yes.
Like, listen to us, Abby and Devon, because I liked Stitch and Abby, but there's just nowhere to go with them right now.
No, there's
Yeah,
not.
they're so boring.
How do Lily and Kane get out of their situation? Does he have to cheat?
Yeah, to me, it's just like Lily has already cheated, and to me, there's nowhere that they can go other than having Kane do it at this point. Or there's all this work tension, and then she becomes a friend. I don't know,
And then
because
something just happens, a little drunk tequila night,
Yeah.
a photo shoot.
yeah, yeah, Billy does
Why
that.
are we trying to break up Kane and Lily?
We're not
though?
trying to.
No.
We're just
No.
making it interesting.
I know, because
To give Lily a storyline?
No.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's the storyline Lily needs, but I definitely think that something's going to happen with Devon and Hillary. I just think there's going to be trouble in paradise.
Yeah, and I feel that for a lot of the couples right now because everyone's just sort of going through the motions. Like, I mean,
Agreed.
but except Victoria and Travis, I will say, I titled one of the storylines, Victoria gets her group back. Her and Travis actually are pretty solid.
Yeah,
and
that
that's why I
dance.
don't see, Victoria hooking up with Billy. That's why I
No.
was like, Lily would be actually someone who's not as stable right now in a relationship.
And Billy
as
just
Victoria.
loves to break people up. So,
He does. It's just in him.
I was like, if it was that brash and sassy model with Billy, maybe he would have gone for it. But yeah. He's just.
Well,
Yeah.
Victor and Nikki, they're solid right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
They're
them
solid.
breaking up anytime soon. As much as I wanted Nikki with Neil, this is not a good time
Yeah.
for that.
Later.
No.
Neil and Lois need to hook up.
They do. That was a lot of good chemistry.
Well, they got to bring her back, so.
I know, because Yvette will do it any day. Like, she is such a big fan, Yvette Nicole Brown of Y&R, is why she shows up. It's so funny. And I'm like, they should hook her up with Neil.
That was
She's
good.
she's a Walking Dead fanatic, right? Because I always see her on Talking Dead, and she brings her little notebook. Oh my God, it's hilarious. She has notes for days. I'm like, that is a super fan.
Yeah, she is a fangirl, and that's why I love her so much. It's like, she's just like us.
You're just one of us.
Grisella said a storyline for Lily really could be a life-threatening illness with one of the children.
As much as I hate to
happen.
see that, that would actually be like a good storyline to bring Lily and Kane together.
Yeah.
It's like, because there is a hospital, and there are people on the show that work at the hospital. They could use it more than like a push down the stairs.
Right.
The stairs that probably didn't need to go to the hospital, but
What do we have with Jill? Indigestion or heartburn?
Yeah. Oh, it's just
Shorty
funny.
Yo, I'm still hoping Heather Tom would come back to
I
play
know,
Victoria. LOL.
please.
Billy Miller may never come back. Yeah, no, I remember when
That was
Heather
the
Tom was
heyday.
on. I remember when Billy Miller was on.
We've had so many good actors throughout the years, but to me, Amelia and Jason are killing the roles that they're in.
They are.
Yeah. But, speaking of Jill, I think you mentioned Jill and Lauren after yoga. I mean, I have to say, Tracy Bregman probably really looks like that after yoga because she is just that beautiful. And I'm just like, what is her secret? Because,
I ran into her at a CVS in Calabasas a couple years back. So cute. Had her heels on, just walking through the aisles.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
I was like, she just looked so fantastic and put together. I'm just like, I want to be Lauren Fenmore.
For sure.
Yeah, she looks just as gorgeous in person, but Lauren needs a storyline. Oh my
I love her
God.
chemistry with Jill.
Yeah,
that
it was
whole
so fun.
relationship
The
is
banter
fun.
is funny, but I think that she actually needs a storyline, other than rivaling with Jill,
Yeah, to me, and they sort of brought in some stuff is Jill wanting brash and sassy. It's like, okay, let's do that, not just talk about it. Because them
Right.
talking about it was funny, and, because I love how, into it they got,
And
fighting.
Lauren was like, no, I don't want that.
She's like, yeah, it's a glorified dating service. And Jill was like, no, it is legitimate business.
I have to go to the chat for a second. Cheyenne said that Lacretia, she's a fan of AfterBuzz, but every time you mention Devon and Abby, she gets nauseous and queasy.
Oh my God.
I kind of agree, though. I don't see them together. It's just maybe it's us. I don't know.
Yeah, because I know, Kiera, you,
I like it, yeah.
And that to me is, I'm like, I don't know why. Kim tested them a while back whenever she was with Tyler and they had that whole thing. And they sort of set it up and then it didn't go anywhere. And because he was put with Hillary so quickly. That's why I'm like, give it a chance.
But he looks
guys.
good with everyone he interacts with.
Yeah.
Like we said, him and Mariah would work.
Oh, yeah. And that would be a good story because Mariah is the girl from the other side of the tracks.
Yep.
And in a nice, it's funny to say Mariah's nicer, but then Hillary, yes. 'Cause
To come into that billionaire situation, and she would do better things with it other than gossip.
yeah, because with Mariah, at least, she is, a bit, nasty. She's a little tough, but she's not nasty like Hillary.
Yeah, she has a
Hillary
good
is-
heart.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I'd rather see that. Because I like Devon and Hillary, but the way that they've taken Hillary is just
bad.
not good
It's
enough
dark.
for Devon. And that's why I'm like, Abby's good enough for Devon. Mariah's good enough for Devon.
Right.
So,
But it's
sorry,
always the
guys.
yin and yang. And, some guys, they like to be bossed around. Maybe he just likes bossy girls. I don't know. But yeah, no, I do think there's trouble in paradise with Devon and Hillary for sure.
Yes.
I just don't know Abby. Maybe Mariah, but I don't know. I don't know if she's ever going to give it up with Kevin.
Yeah, because that's just.
And that might
so
be
sad.
over soon.
Yeah.
Because I
It's gotta
think it's
be.
going to come out about Chloe. And I think, she's going to have to run out of Genoa City when they find out that she was a part of that.
Well, I don't see her leaving because they did put Elizabeth Hendrickson back in the credits. If you guys notice, it's how they change it up the few characters.
Yeah.
They put her back in there, so I think Chloe is here for the long haul. But I do think that there is trouble in paradise with her and Kevin
sure.
because Mariah putting Dylan on the case and Dylan,
he's relentless.
oh yeah,
He will find
yeah.
it.
He was already suspicious of her to begin with, especially because he's been watching Victor like a hawk. And I feel that Mariah's concerns are valid. They're not just about jealousy.
Yeah.
She does care about Kevin, whether she's with him or not. Because as much as she didn't like Natalie wasn't that bad for Kevin, so she didn't really interfere towards, once he had made his choice, it was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and we thought that Natalie was bad,
Yeah.
but then it turned out to be Chloe that was behind those visits to Victor. So yeah, Mariah, she's ride or die for Kevin.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
needs that.
She even quit.
Yeah.
She quit her job, essentially, because she didn't want to deal with Chloe anymore.
And to me, it's a shame because I liked the budding friendship with Chelsea with Mariah,
Yeah.
but I don't think that Chelsea 2.0 is the place for Mariah. it doesn't really fit her. She is not a fashion girl. And, you know, she's a tough cookie. You know, Mariah actually should be working with Dylan and Kevin at the police station.
Yeah.
That would be good for her. Learning how to hack.
Even though she lost Faith at the park.
And please tell me how Faith got there. She take a cab,
I know
an
she like
Uber.
ran in there. Yeah, an Uber.
But it's all the way across town.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know her. It made no sense. I was like,
She
what's
is
going on?
quite the little kid, though. She's like, you know.
She is, and
A
I feel
little
like she's going to
adult.
grow up really, really soon because she's doing a lot of talking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you guys should be together.
Right. I
like,
swear,
oh my
next thing we
God.
know, she's going to be 20.
I know, right? I know. Next episode, she's going to be
For
21 years
sure.
old.
'Cause the little-
And she could be the new love interest for somebody.
Exactly.
Oh, God. But yeah, like the little actress is in everything. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so cute. Like, you know.
I know I don't quite know her name, but yeah, she is in everything. She's in a lot of Lifetime movies.
So cute.
Yeah, that awesome Will Ferrell one.
Oh, yeah.
She's adorable.
Yeah, I know. I hate to see Faith age because I love her, but, you know, if she, you know, keeps getting these gigs, we may have to age her.
Say bye.
And then it's like, how would she feel about Chelsea when she's a teenager? Because right now she's cute and precocious and pushing them together.
Yeah.
And I love how Nick called Sharon out on that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit rude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I think Sharon, her heart's in the right place. You know, she wants Nick to be happy. And I think that Nick and Chelsea, you know, they both lost their loved ones. I think it's relatable. It's the kind of, I know maybe it's too soon, but I think that Sharon was just, or maybe she
But
has
she's
her
a little
own
selfish and
ulterior
looks out for
motives.
herself, yeah.
Yeah, as much as I do love Sharon in a way, I feel that a lot of this has to do with she wants Nick busy so he's not with
Thinking about
Sully,
it, Sully,
thinking
yeah.
about, you know, and
Looking at that cowlick that they share in common.
Yeah, oh
Katherine.
God. But yeah, and I think that that's really more of what it's about because Sharon is not a selfless person.
She's not. Let me just bring this up. Why
Yeah.
was she in thigh-high boots in her house?
I know.
Why?
In her house.
How? Last time it was like silver Jimmy Choo pumps. This girl. I don't
know.
get it.
Yeah, you know, Sharon is a basket case, let's face it.
Like you're baking cookies in boots.
Yeah, and then to turn out like, you know, who one of you predicted it was Patty doing the phone calls. So since Sharon's, you know, crazy eyes came back at the end of the week and it's like, oh, it's Patty calling.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Did you get my
cannot
gift?
wait. I know. I cannot wait to see how this all unfolds. And Sharon is dying right now. She cannot believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think Patty initially was on her side, but I do feel that Patty is sort of, you know, an innocent sort of crazy. She's that childlike crazy to where, in her mind, Sharon's been lying about this. So now Sharon is the bad one. At first, when Sharon was the victim, when they were together in the insane asylum, she was on her side. But, you know, she sees, you know, how Nick is grieved and, you know, stuff like that. So she's like, I'm gonna start targeting her
Yeah, and fix
make her
this.
confess because
Yep.
that is who Patty is. Like Patty may be crazy and a killer, but there
She
is
has good
this,
intentions, yeah. Which is hard to admit.
Yeah, it's going to come out definitely about Sharon and Sully.
I think November.
It's definitely going to come out.
November.
It's going to come out that Chloe was involved with Victor, and yeah, it's soon.
Yeah, they have to wrap all this up.
Soon, spoiler.
Yeah,
Some new stories.
yeah, we do have the new head writers coming in, so that should help because I know Lynn Johnson mentioned, you know, maybe they'll make Hillary nicer.
Yeah, and you said it was going to get more, you know, like the old school days of YNR.
Yeah, especially when you bring back two writers from a good period of time, and you notice they're kind of setting things up, like with Nick and Chelsea, more of this sort of love in the afternoon.
Love in the afternoon, not
Yeah,
love in the
no-
evening.
yeah, no
love in the
weird date.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
And the whole thing is like, just take your time with it. We know that they're going to be together, but let her grieve. Let it not be so awkward going from one brother to the next.
Yeah, because that was my thing, is like, it almost seemed too fast, but then I liked how they both had issues with it.
Yeah.
People were pushing them, and then it was sweet. Because that's the thing, is with Nick and Chelsea, there is that chemistry. It is nice.
Yeah.
And as much as, you know, I liked her and Adam, I'm like, I saw this coming, like,
long
months,
time
you know,
ago.
with Sage when their baby died. I was like, oh, they're pushing them together. And then they had to, you know, write something else.
Yeah.
But
I love
yeah.
it, but Give us a couple more weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
his
I think
body
it's
is
going to
involved.
happen next week. They're going to be macking next week. I don't think it's going to be that slow. I think, even I thought they were going to kiss when he came over to talk to her after she was talking to Chloe. And I mean, that scene was, I wanted to talk about it with my segment, but I guess I'll talk about it now. But that scene when she was eating the grapes, I was like, oh my God, this girl is like
sexy.
falling in love. Like she was just like a 16-year-old little girl, like talking with Chloe about it. She was like, well, and, like she wasn't speaking English at one point. She was like, well, I don't know if I like, oh my God, we're just friends. Oh my God, was it weird? I
But it was so cute and real.
yeah,
We've all had those moments.
it was a real moment, and you were like, oh wow, she really likes him. And then when he showed up, it was like, oh my God.
But I have to play tough.
Yeah, but then I have to like, oh, I'm so glad that you said it, so I didn't have to be awkward. But let's just smile at each other and move closer. And I was like, oh my God, they're gonna kiss.
Yeah.
And I was actually surprised that they didn't have that moment right then. But I was like, yeah, they're gonna,
Too soon.
the tension is real.
Yeah.
Passion is real.
And again, with Nick and Chelsea, it does just make that much sense for them to be together, and especially when we find out that Sully is actually Adam's. So you feel that Nick and Chelsea both will have a bond with this child that isn't either one of them. So see them raising him. And I know a lot of people are predicting, like right here, Lynn Johnson says, hopefully before November sweeps with the whole baby Sully storyline, but that may be where they're headed to get it during sweeps month, the big reveal. I feel like we're going to start seeing the cracks, but I don't think Nick will know until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Aaron Brody in the chat does not think that they have any chemistry, Nick and Chelsea, but they do have chemistry. I mean, the writers are pushing the chemistry. The chemistry is real. As far as that, if they could show sparks flying, I think it would. I mean, I don't see how anyone can't see that they have chemistry. I don't know if he's talking about the actors. Maybe the actors aren't, but I felt it was pretty genuine. It was pretty organic.
I think so too. I think for some people it just may be a little bit too soon, and you don't want to see it.
It's never too soon.
Yeah,
In Genoa City, it's never,
Genoa City.
ever too soon.
Yeah, as I'll say, they're setting it up right now, but there was hints at this before even Adam died.
Yeah.
It's not like this is a new thing, and it is, people are pushing them together, but so far they're not jumping the gun.
No,
so I don't
they're
think
taking it nice and slow.
And again, I feel like when the stuff about baby Sully comes out, that's going to be a major thing with them.
Push them together.
Yeah.
Poor Sharon. Where's she gonna go?
I know, that's the thing, because Dylan's not going to want anything to do with her.
Victor,
Sharon-
Nikki.
oh.
She's gonna be exiled.
I know. Sharon and Chloe can be roommates.
Oh yeah, that'll be the one person on her side.
It's like the Cuckoo Sisters.
Oh,
Right.
Mariah will be
Yeah.
there. Maybe she'll pull a Summer and let her move with her.
Probably. She's probably going to end up back with Patty in the mental institution. They'll probably both end up in the mental institution. Just,
And then break out a couple weeks later.
Yeah, a little Thelma and Louise storyline going on.
Yeah, and then steal the
Love
baby
it.
back, and then there could be that storyline. Hey, remember this, guys. We said it first right here. This is the exclusive.
Aaron Brody, can we stop with these incest storylines, please? I kind of feel you there.
Who's incesting?
Chelsea.
Is that a word?
Chelsea and Nick. That's
because-
brother-in-law, sister-in-law.
But let's face it,
Oh,
on
in-laws.
soaps, everyone's related, so it's
That's
kind of
true.
hard not to. That's
Her brother's mother's sister's brother. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm from a small town. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's related to everybody.
Yeah, in-laws, it's not quite incest, so. Yes,
He
Abby.
died 3
actors-
weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, Aaron Brody, he was saying the actors are they're the ones that don't have the chemistry. Okay.
All right. Well, I think that is it for the week that was in Genoa City. So let's get on to our news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
And of course, you guys will see what lovely picture I picked to show.
Shirtless.
That This Is Us, aka Justin Hartley's a new show, which he left us for, is picked up for a full season. And I do encourage you guys to watch this show. It is phenomenal. Justin is perfect. It sucks that we had to lose Adam, though.
I know.
He is very cute. I'm gonna watch This Is Us just for him.
Me
oh
too.
My, look at that.
I gotta binge watch. How many episodes are they in?
It's only been 2, so,
oh, good.
so
I
not
can
too
catch
many.
up tonight.
But yeah, speaking of This Is Us, could Eric Braeden show up on This Is Us? So, you know,
Ooh.
Daddy Victor, Adam himself, Justin Hartley, has been throwing it around. When asked in Glamour magazine, did he think that Eric was going to show up on the show? He's like, yeah, he could play my grandpa.
Ooh. Hopefully they're not just joking.
Yeah, that would be.
I would love to see him on primetime.
Yeah, like, you know, Eric is so funny. And this show is, like, it's sad. And it's very much like Parenthood before. It's sad in a lot of ways, but then there's so much cheeky, fun stuff. Like, they have people like Katie Seagal played his agent and stuff like that.
I love Katie
It's good.
Seagal, and I loved Parenthood, by the way. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God, what
good.
an amazing show. Yeah, Eric Braeden would be amazing. He's an amazing actor.
But yeah, you know, let's talk about the big 30 years at CBS Daytime at number 1. So yeah, CBS Daytime has been number 1 in daytime television for 30 years straight.
Yes, congrats.
That's amazing.
Such a big accomplishment.
But I already knew that because
Yeah.
my mom's been watching Young And The Restless since I was a baby.
I know, CBS has been number
Before
1
that.
more than we've all been alive.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, what a feat for, you know, CBS Daytime, which, you know, is why on September 20th, CBS Daytime Day was declared in LA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's an official holiday for CBS
Yes,
Daytime.
and with the Virgos, what a great time for that.
That's amazing. And not only the cast, but a lot of the crew has been there for the whole 30 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they have their pictures on their badge, and one of the guy that does makeup, he had his picture on his badge, and it was like, he must have been like 23 in the
Oh,
picture.
wow, they don't take
And he was in
updated
his 50s.
pictures?
No, they don't take updated pictures, and he must be in his 50s now. And I was like, oh my God, you've been with
That's
Young And The Restless
crazy.
for a while. And he's like, I've been with this show for that long. That's
Wow.
amazing.
That's so great because, like, writers and actors, they come and go, but the crew, like, what an amazing job that must be to have such a good job for that long, and it's hopefully something that you love.
Yeah, and you get to know everybody and you're like family.
Yeah,
Aw.
the stage director Tom, he's
cool.
been there for so long, and the crew is just amazing. But yeah, they've pretty much all of the crew, because I remember them from years back when I was on the show, and they're all like, you know, they're just amazing. Yeah, they're still on the show. They're so happy, and they really love what they do.
Which is great.
That's so important.
And speaking of wardrobe and the crew, let's get to our
let's-
best and
yes.
worst dress. It's like, let's throw a little bit of shade and a little bit of...
So who picked this? Did the fans pick it this week? Or are we starting that
We
next
had the
week?
fan do the worst dress. We didn't have a pick for best, so I thought it'd be sweet to pick. This is the best picture I could find of Faith's little dress here. But I picked Faith for best dressed because
You're being
she
so nice.
was so excited. Chelsea made her a one-of-a-kind, Chelsea 2.0, or, you know,
She offered her life savings of $20 for it.
that was so cute.
I'll just say she wears the dress. The dress doesn't wear her because she's such a personality.
very
I don't know
cute.
about the dress, but she's adorable.
So let's get to our worst dressed, which was picked by our Melvin fan, aka Brittany.
Hey, girl.
She's a lovely fan who loves to contribute every week, so she sent me this as the worst dress, Sharon's party dress.
Agreed, and that's where she had those thigh-high boots on.
Yeah, I
know.
kind of agree. This dress did not wear well. Like maybe from far away, you would think this would be a cute dress. And my mom actually said she liked that dress because I showed her and I was like, oh, this is the worst dress. And she goes, I like that dress on Sharon. Oh
Maybe
my
in
God.
another color, black.
I don't know. I feel like it cuts her off. That like ribbon band around her waist, that just cuts her off and makes her just look, I don't know. She has a great body. I don't know.
Yeah, to me it would have been good for Coachella or something like that.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
your kid's birthday party, it was a little like, what are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
Well, at least she's crazy and
Yeah.
conservative. We can't have crazy and
Yeah.
slutty at the same time.
Oh my God.
Well, speaking of shade like that,
yes.
let's get ready for our shadiest moments of the week.
Please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Love that theme song. All right, so the shade this week came from Jack talking to Phyllis when he said, what you do and where you live is no longer a concern of mine. Phyllis, are you forgetting something? Oh, keep the ring. I want my house key. Because that ring is expensive and beautiful, and I know she was thinking, oh my God, he wants it back, he wants it back. But when it was the house key, that kind of solidified, like, girl, you have no place here.
I love that, by the way. Though. As much as I like Phyllis, that was a good burr.
For her, yeah, she needed that. And I know Jack felt good.
But she was too quick to give that ring back. She was like, okay, and it's like, no, he's like the key. And she felt more devastated about the key. I was like, I would have been more devastated about that
Well,
ring.
because she knew the ring wasn't going anywhere. The key meant control, so then that's when she had to flip it. Like, okay, well, now let me work for you. She just wants to be there all up under him.
Yeah.
Give him some
Like,
space,
give him
girl.
some
Shade, Jack. Good job.
Shady shade.
But I guess let's get to a nicer segment that we just started here. Our own Abbey Scott has developed a new segment called Swipe Right.
Yes. You love, you mean it by. You kiss me, diss me, who the hell?
And fun fact, that is a song that I wrote, Love You Mean It, and it's available on iTunes if you love it
Very
that much.
cool.
But yeah, this is called Swipe Right. It's all about, love matchmaking and possible hookups in Genoa City. And the obvious, I'm going to state the obvious. Nick and Chelsea, swipe right situation. Obviously, like I said, there are sparks flying. I wish that, they would actually put the sparks in. I mean, they are so going to hook up. I think they're going to be kissing next week. That's my prediction. They're definitely going to be a couple very soon.
That's really soon.
I know it's really soon, but I just think that they both lost their loved ones, and I don't know. I just think that it's organically going there. And obviously with soap operas, it moves a little faster, okay? So I definitely think that they're going to be a couple sooner than everyone thinks. And I want to do a swipe left because I thought it was freaking amazing when Kane turned down that model. That was
so
hilarious.
good.
That was so uncomfortable. I was like, oh my God, she was rejected. and Jill was there to see it, and she was just like so happy. She loves Kane.
Such a proud mom.
Yeah, she's like, well, I could be proud of him because I can't be proud of my own son, Billy. He's just like, he won't turn anyone down.
Well, that's always been Jill. She loves Kane more than Billy.
For sure. She tried to act like it was Billy now, but no.
Well, Kane is doing really well, so.
Well, speaking of people doing really well, let's get to our winners and losers of the week. And so, speaking of that hookup or possible hookup with Nick, that's why I got to give my winner to Chelsea. Because she just lost her husband, the love of her life, but she's still got a smile on her face.
Right.
Because Nick Newman's all up in their business.
Eating those grapes.
And his cute little daughter, pushing them together. And it's
So cute.
Oh. And I like seeing Chelsea happy this week. Even if it seems too soon, it was nice to see.
She's so happy. She has, she was I can't think of the word, but she was daydreaming about him almost, right? When she was looking to, yeah.
Little teenager.
Yeah, it's
Cute.
teenage. Yeah, it almost feels like that teenage love. So I definitely feel like it's gonna happen very soon.
But yeah, unfortunately we do have a loser of the week, and I know I defend her all the time, but this week I couldn't. Phyllis, give up the ghost girl. He's just not that into you anymore.
For now. This week.
Yeah, I was like, he'll be calling you Red again next year. But, for now, give Jack some space. Listen to Summer, okay?
Hey, listen to your daughter. She's being the parent this week, and she's giving you amazing advice. Follow it. Yeah, she's not getting the hint.
I did like that redemption dress. That was kind of reticent of that spicy Phyllis. She's like, if I'm going to show up to work, I'm going to look my best. She did.
Yeah, that little purple number. She was like, and then she put her hair up in a bun. It was like,
Had
what?
the little hoop on.
But it didn't work.
Denied.
Denied. She was another one that was denied. Swipe left.
Yeah. Poor thing.
But that is it for our segments this week. Again, be sure to send us your picks for the best and worst dress, and we'll try to make sure we include those every week. But let's get into some predictions now.
Yes.
AfterBuzz
Favorite.
TV predictions.
This is exciting.
Well, you're excited after you go first.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you want this Nick and Chelsea thing.
I think I've already said my prediction. I think that Nick and Chelsea are definitely going to take it to the next level or the next step. First base, I don't know what you call it. But yeah, I definitely think there's going to be a kiss. next week. That's my prediction. I don't see that they're moving too fast, especially in Genoa City, okay? I think they're moving too slow, okay? So yeah, I think a kiss with Nick and Chelsea next week.
I see a kiss happening, but not with Nick and Chelsea. Ashley and Travis. Who knows how long they're going to be in that elevator?
And
something's going to go down.
That is the thing, is elevators are always meant for sex. At least what I've learned by watching TV.
It's such a small space, yeah.
I love it.
The camera's probably broken.
Yeah, and that is the thing, is I don't think that they're actually going to have sex. I do think that it may just be like a kiss or something,
Meeting.
or because she knows him from before. And that was really interesting. And as we say, Travis and Victoria are great together. He's perfect. But let's start to crack that, because it'll
But
get
we need
boring.
a little rivalry for Ashley, and I think she would be a perfect rival with Victoria.
Oh, yeah, because to
would be
me,
great.
she's got Phyllis's number. That's not a rivalry. Victoria, though, and that's the thing, is you've got the three of them each on the outs. Those some powerful women, and crap will hit the fan.
Yes! Mark my word.
Yeah, and I do feel that Patty, you know, who knows all this stuff, is now pissed at Sharon for not revealing the truth with the baby. And Patty, as I said, is a very childlike, you know, person, and I feel that she may just flat out tell Dylan, and he'll question, you know,
The
everything.
validity of it, yeah.
You know, and of course Sharon will say, "Oh no, she's crazy. I don't know what she's talking about," and then it's
The
gonna be
facts
worse.
are
Then they're
just
going to do
gonna
a
be so
DNA,
there, yep.
test and everything. Another prediction, I do think it's going to come out soon, maybe not next week, but very soon, about Chloe. I think it's going to come out very soon.
Definitely November.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
like-
think sooner. I think
Yeah.
sooner.
Yeah, to me, it's like it is October, so we've got, you know, just a couple of weeks before it is November sweeps, and I feel like that's where the Sully stuff, the Chloe stuff, all the crap's gonna hit the fan and be.
But I don't think they want it to all happen at the same time, so they got to
No.
stagger it. And I think the Chloe one's going to be the first one to break.
I can see that because Dylan's on the case and he doesn't drop stuff.
He's
And
on
she
it.
is so obvious. Every time Dylan walks up, she has to give him the death stare. It's like, Chloe, can you be more obvious? And she's like having Victor's back, and I'm just like, oh, wow. Don't be so obvious.
Hey, at least there's no crazy eyes.
Yeah. Oh, the crazy eyes. But I guess, you know, that is it for the week that was in Genoa City and for the Restless wrap-up. As we wrap up here, you guys can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. And while you're on the internet, be sure to click the like button on YouTube, on iTunes. Give us 5 stars there, please. We're also on SoundCloud, literally anywhere. Just type in the Young and the Restless After Show at AfterBuzzTV.com and you'll find us. But where can they find you guys?
As always, on all social media at Kiera Giavanni. That's KIERAGIAVANNI.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Abbey Scott, you can follow below. We can be BFFs, best friends forever. And yeah, please like the video, share it with your friends, and we
5
adore
stars,
you. We
5
adore
stars.
you. Yes. We adore you. Thank you for chatting everyone. Cheyenne, Taylor, Gisela,
Aaron,
Aaron.
Brody, Taylor Jones, Nikisha Jones. We've got.
Hey, where's our Melvin fan?
I know. I was like, we picked her, you know, we're stressed, and I
It's the
didn't see
one
her.
week she's not here.
I know, but you know, I'll definitely tweet her like, "Hey, we
Yes.
missed you.
We
Thanks
missed
for
you."
the worst dress." But again, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.